session, which is how to adopt AI effectively in academic institutions. Before I could call the valuable members, I really appreciate your patience. Apologize for the delay because of time constraints. Apologize for it. And I have moderator, Mr. Rajesh Rathi. He's the District Vice President of District 14 in the International Society of Automation, Asia Pacific. He's the moderator for us. And then I have Dr. Manpreet Singh. He's the former director, All India Council for Technical Education, AICTE, India. And Mr. Shailesh Kumar, Chief Data Scientist, COE, and Artificial Intelligence, Machine Learning, GEO. Usha Jagannathan, Ph.D., Vice President, Marsh Digital Labs, USA. Welcome, everybody, and welcome, Usha. I'm really sorry to keep you waiting so late in the midnight.
No. That's absolutely fine. I was enjoying Dr. Venu's work, so thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you.
Can I take over? This is Rajesh Rathi.
Yes, sir.
Okay, friends. First of all, very nice to see yet again a very well-attended session conference by Orbit Shifters and ISA Hyderabad.
Rajesh, sorry. Again, apologies to interrupt. Panel members, request if possible, just try to enable your cameras so that it would be very lively, if possible.
Mahesh, are you able to see my video?
No.
Yes, I can. We can see your video, Usha.
Okay.
We can also see Mr. Shailesh Kumar's video. I can see.
Okay.
I haven't yet seen Mr. Manpreet Singh's video. I hope he will turn it on shortly. Manpreet Sahab, are you here? Mr. Manpreet, are you here?
Rajesh, I don't think Manpreet has joined.
Okay. All right. So we'll basically work with this. So friends, first of all, as I was saying, very nice to see a very well-attended conference by the organizers. As far as I'm concerned, I couldn't have asked for a better panel to discuss this question. And I had a chat with Usha earlier today. We were a little confused whether this event is today or tomorrow. But nice to see you, Usha, and nice to see you, Mr. Shailesh Kumar. For the discussion today, we have two questions that we are asking every panelist, and then hopefully we will also see Mr. Manpreet Singh join in. But the questions that I have for you, two. Number one is, how should AI be taught to non-computer science and math departments? And that is a challenge because AI is now all pervasive, and we have to see how we are going to get into the people who are not necessarily, very tuned to those kind of subjects. Number two question is how to leverage industries in academia for AI adoption. Of course, industry and academia have to integrate together almost in every sphere now. It has to become a seamless transition, but particularly in AI, how we are going to make it happen, that's the question. I request Mr. Shailesh Kumar to go first. And I think we will go question one first from both the sides and then take the question two so that we have continuity on the subjects. So the first question is, how should AI be taught to non-computer science math department? You have roughly about 4 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes.
Yes. Great. So I think this is obviously a very good question. And AI is now a horizontal skill, right? It's not one of those vertical skills anymore. And today people from all walks of life are learning AI at the right level of abstraction. And that is the key here, which is how do I teach AI to a medical doctor? Because now AI is going to go into medicine. How do I teach AI to a manufacturing person? Because AI is going to go into manufacturing. How do we teach it to people in physics and chemistry or in electrical engineering? Everywhere AI is there, right? To to agriculture scientists, to every other area. Now, so a lot of times we teach AI from a very process and methodology point of view, from an algorithm and math point of view. But I think the right way to teach AI to everyone, not even to non-CS and math people, but also to CS and math people, the right way to teach any subject is to start with the why of it, not the how of it. So if we teach them why we are learning AI and machine learning, it's not because we want to build great models, but because we want to improve our ability to make decisions. And once people understand that, the way Google works, the way Ola works, the way refineries work, the way everything works, is really about a collection of decisions. And AI can help us make better decisions in whatever domain we are. And then the why, the how comes, right? So I think that layer of thinking and teaching is missing, which says, why do I need AI in electrical engineering? Is because I can make my electrical systems better if I understand demand and supply of electrical patterns, right? Why do I need AI in retail or any other sector? Is because I can do my retail better, my supply chain better, or whatever, right? So I think, like we were taught geometry and trigonometry earlier without knowing why we are studying it, I think we are doing the same mistake in teaching AI also and machine learning without teaching why we are learning it. So I think one of the first things that we should teach AI students and ML students is not the how of it, but the why of it. How is it applied in different industries? And that is when they will become more aware of why we are learning this, why there are so many techniques, and how, all the techniques that previous speaker was talking about, how does that come to life in different industries, is what that connect is what is missing. And, that is what needs to be bridged in the AI education today.
Thank you very much, Mr. Shailesh Kumar. I can see Dr. Singh is already here now. Welcome, Dr. Singh. You missed only a small part of it. We said that we are asking 2 questions on this panel today. And the first question is how to teach AI to non-math and non-computer science people. I'd like you to go next. I would like to hear from you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much for inviting such a beautiful
you
gathering.
have roughly 3 minutes to cover the topic.
Sure. I'll make it. Thank you. So since you have given only 3 minutes, so I should not go for any other kind of, the rituals like to say hello to everyone and to say honorable this and that. And also I'll come to the point. The big misconception is coming in my tier 1, tier 2 and tier 3 institutions. I included tier 1 also. Please make a note. Whenever I talk to the students for my Smart India Hackathon or, Ideathon people, why you're not coming with some coding and all these things and the stuff maybe through Python or, sir, it is not my cup of tea. Why, beta? Sir, I am a chemical graduate and it is the computer science students, they're supposed to do this. Acha, beta, have you done the metric mathematics? Yes, sir, I have done mathematics. I am CBSE graduated and I did my +2, sir, non-medical in my state. I topped. Oh, you know binomial theorem, you know trigonometry, but you don't know how to do on the language C. No, sir, C, I have done it. So what is the problem with the Python? No, sir, it's a computer science engineering language. Then I used to bring my, the screwdriver and a plier at my class. Dear students, if this plier can be used by any chemical engineer, this screwdriver can be used by any, metallurgical engineers. Same AI is a tool. Only thing is that tool is working on a screen and this tool is working at your wire and you're cutting something and doing something. Same you have to do on the computer. If you can make your LinkedIn profile, you can make your Gmail account, you can make your website. Can't you do something in AI? Sir, from where? Then I used to show 100+ MOOCs platforms. Starting from the 1200 worth Python to 25,000. See which is your cup of tea. If you are going to the advanced level, go to the Udacity or Coursera or other things. If you want to the local level of just beginners, you go over this open source. The thing is that this misconception coming from where, I'll tell you the story. Don't mind if some of my friends, my colleagues, those are the teachers, they are listening to me. When they'll go to the class because they don't want to make their burden more. Beta, it is not about cup of tea. We are learning our paper technology or chemical processing or food processing. Let me teach because he studied that and he wants to teach the same. It's not a young aspiring mind stuff. Study webs of active learning. हम अपने 5 साल पुराने नोट्स इनको परोसना चाहते हैं क्योंकि नए नोट्स बनाने के लिए पहले मुझे मेहनत करनी पड़ेगी ना सर. पहले मैं पाइथन सीखूंगा तभी ना सिखाऊंगा क्लास में. मैं तो GWPC का सीख के 93 पास आउट हूँ बीटेक. So you are expecting me to be teach in Python? मैं नहीं पढ़ाने वाला हूँ. मैं बच्चों को डरा दूंगा. नहीं बेटा, ये कंप्यूटर्स वालों का काम है. चुपचाप आके अपना केमिकल करो, बॉयलर्स पे जाके टेम्परेचर चेक करो, देखो ब्रेड बन रहा है कि नहीं बन रहा है. सर, आपकी ब्रेड कल बनने नहीं वाली है. आपको लाना पड़ेगा टेक्नोलॉजीज में. फिर कहते हैं जॉब्स नहीं मिल रही मार्केट में हमारे बच्चों को. कहाँ मिलेंगी? डिग्री से जॉब नहीं मिलेगी, स्किल से जॉब मिलेगी मेरे भाई. आप आत्मनिर्भर भारत की बात कर रहे हैं, मोबाइल तो मुझे भी अभी एप्पल का यूज करना पड़ रहा है, वो क्वालिटी का एप्पल मैं कब बनाऊंगा अपनी कंट्री में? दैट इज द प्रॉब्लम. आई थिंक दिस इज द वन ऑफ द 3 minutes is over. I stop here, but this is the reality.
Thank you very much. Very, very illustrated and very nice way of presenting the problem. Dr. Usha, I ask you the same question. How do you introduce AI to non-math, non-computer science people?
Absolutely, thank you to be in this panel with exquisite speakers, so if I'm not sharing something, if I'm sharing something incorrectly, you guys can correct me. So couple of areas that I would like to share is, apart from non-computer science, I see like a lot of people take food and agriculture. Agriculture is one of the top choices in India, where like we need to know, as Dr. Shailesh mentioned about why to make decisions, or when Dr. Manpreet, when he talked about how to do using Python, if it is Python, they resist change. If other disciplines, so how do we make them to really come into saying like, okay, how AI could be taught in those areas? First, they need to know, you do not need to. There are so many applications out there to, just this week, AWS Honey Code has been introduced, where it is you can create mobile and web applications without even writing any code. So if you take, for a couple of examples I would like to share, if you take humanities, like in food and agriculture, as I mentioned, let's say I want to, let's target Nellore district in Telangana, and in a paddy field, it's grown heavily over there, cropped over there. And if I need to say in Nellore district, in a particular zip code, I want to see, let's say that is where a lot of crops, particular paddy crops are being grown. And let's say I want to predict where more crops are being picked up and it is being sold. Or let's say if I'm an entomologist and I want to know where exactly, in which area more pests are being, more pests I see in the paddy field. And all those areas, we can make all these machine learning predictions. But how am I going to, yes, in every field that we touch, that we can be, AI could be used. But how are we going to make AI, how we can create a curriculum that AI should be taught, apart from non-computer science people, or if it is a math department. So one more example I would like to give is humanities. If you take humanities, where we learn about law, politics, ethics, when we talk about ethics, AI plays such a vital role in ethics. So in these areas, all these subjects, if they know the introductory part of, why, how these, where exactly the AI is being applied in several, in these areas, these applications we can make use of AI. Once they know it, once they will be able to target who the audience it is, then you see now with all this virtual conferences and virtual everything we are doing, working from home, we could be able to see like how we can find a solution remotely using AI for this COVID. If you take for an example, because artificial intelligence, yes.
Dr. Usha, we are a little short of time. Yeah.
Okay, that is fine. Yeah, I will finish with one more thing. So in math department, if you take statistics and probability, are definitely being taught. So one more thing that they need to add, that I feel, is like we create so many mathematical models for diseases where we apply AI, and AI, just the introductory part, you do not even have to go and do a lot of MOOC platforms. What interests you, where you want to go and apply, take the applications that are not, that doesn't have heavy coding, and you can be able to apply that in order to build your application, to market it, or to share your knowledge with others. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much for a very elaborate explanation. I get back to Mr. Shailesh Kumar. So the second question to all three of you is how to leverage industries in academia for AI adoption. Shailesh Kumar. And once again, time is slightly less. Sir, please unmute your mic. I think it is
Okay,
still muted. Yeah. Time is slightly short this time. Let's
I'll be very
stick
precise.
to 3 minutes very strictly.
Yes, yes. So I think industry and academia have to collaborate more and more, and this model has worked out very nicely for European and US countries, because without that collaboration, the supply and demand of technology is not coming together, right? So industries need certain technologies that people need to learn, and if education institutions are doing their thing and industries are doing their own thing, then we are not going to produce the right talent that the country needs, as Dr. Manpreet was saying. So the idea is, I think the more they work together, and there are many ways to work together, I think, we should expose our students to a lot of industry speakers who can come in and talk about how AI and technology is being leveraged in different industries today. Because without that foresight, they will not connect the math or Python they are learning or to the application of it, right? So, like Usha ma'am gave examples, I think we need to expose our students to a lot of problem statements first before they start learning the tools, right? And that is one way. And a lot of internships should happen. Students should go work in internships and see how in industry people are using AI and all that technology. A lot of mentorship programs and cross-testing should happen. And I think with that amalgamation, and industries should fund startups within institutions and things like that. So that way, I think this synergy has to grow. And in whichever country we have seen this grow, those countries have prospered enormously. And the education programs have evolved for the industry need, and the industries are benefiting from the students coming out of it. So very critical to bridge that gap very soon. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Kumar. Dr. Singh, let's hear from you.
Yeah, thank you. I'll start with a very small example. If everybody can recall, around 40 years back, when the University of Roorkee established, and then later on it becomes IIT Roorkee or even IIT Bombay. Just have you ever visited to see their lab sometimes? What a huge workshop over there, because when in our country we started doing dams, we are doing any kind of manufacturing hub, our institution developed the labs from where the locomotives, like diesel locomotives, you go to the lab and all. Why it was? Because what is happening outside, we should learn inside. But unfortunate part in my today's country, we are teaching a steam engine, but we want to run a bullet train outside. The problem is this. Yes, because we are not coming out. If today we want to make our students globally competitive and globally unable to be as today, my institutional, if they will say ki I am just enabler, I think I'm sorry. They have to be accelerators. Not only enablers, they have to be accelerators. The CSR and ISR, the institutional social responsibility and the CSR should be matched together. The ego problem between the institution and industry should be faced out, because sometimes the industry don't come to the institution, sometimes the institution doesn't go to the industry. Industry, if they are going to open their Bush certified labs, Microsoft certified labs in the institutions, why not the AI enabled labs? They should fund there. Let the faculty to get join and have at least 3 months during the summer break to have the industrial exposure. Although it's a Government of India mandate, it's a mandate by the AICTE and the UGC, they have to have for the promotion. But we have to go in a true spirit. In the true spirit, because when the teacher will feel, oh, it's something new, it's amazing, why I should not teach to my learners, then he will come with that passionate level, and then he will start teaching. Otherwise, he will say, beta, in that lab, na industry people will come day after tomorrow, they will take your class because it is not my cup of tea. That is a mismatch is happening. I think this is the right time. Industry should come to the institution, and industry institution interaction in a true spirit. Either it's by mandate by Government of India or the state government or maybe the local administration, but it has to be there for some marks, both sides. For teacher, we are having so many map dents, you don't do this, you are not professor, you don't do this, you are not. Why not for the industry, where for their tax saving things and other kind of incentives, if you will teach at least 50 students in a month for AI, this much tax rebate, because you are creating our country's digital leaders, AI leaders. I think that kind of solution has to be given by both sides. The motivation has to be there. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Singh Saab. Usha ji, I come to you. Actually, on the whole panel, we are left with only 1 minute. I would ask you to be really brief.
Yes. So one of my strengths, this is a great question that I love to answer. So one of my strengths is creating partnerships between industry and academic. Earlier, I was in academia, so I was partnering with industry, now being in industry, I see the both sides. So couple of things, as Dr. Shailesh mentioned and Dr. Singh mentioned. So the industry advisory board is something that we create. Once we create the partnership from the industry, like now being at Marsh Digital, so I created the partnership with Arizona State University since I came from there. And now we have created an industry advisory board. I'm in the executive board in the business side, which is a as this topic started with, which is non-technical. So on the business side, we are trying to leverage. So they are trying to choose the business, WP Carey School of Business, where we're trying to choose which are all the companies in the Phoenix Valley in Arizona are adopting AI. And because they want to introduce those AI for business leaders or AI for business freshmen. So, so keeping that in mind, I was called in, and we create a curriculum enhancement, looking at their curriculum, saying like what could be added as. So we are creating a course right now, AI for business leaders, for emerging business leaders. So that, and more they work together, as Dr. Singh mentioned, students are exposed to industry speaker event every month. And then every semester, they are like once in a semester, we create a hackathon. And we are also now going to conduct a virtual hackathon, and also give apprenticeship, which is on the job training, but you won't get paid, but you get mentorship training, and you're guaranteed, if you do well, a job after that. And then also internships, which are paid during summer, and then capstone projects, which are not paid, but you get 3 credit course credits, but you can put it on your resume, or you can share it with the prospective employer, saying like you did this project at the industry. So I feel like this is how industry should leverage with academia to create partnership in order to adopt AI. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All the 3 panelists, your views are really exclusive, and it's very nice to hear them. I'd like to summarize. The first question was how to teach AI to non-math and non-computer science people. We heard from you, Mr. Shailesh Kumar, the horizontal, and it is not a vertical. You also told us that it should be why first, and then how. That's how it should be taught. Singh Saab, you gave a very illustrated example of how the dialogue goes on between the teachers and the students. It was very hilarious to see you act in addition to give us the information. And you also told us that AI is only a tool, and it should be told that it is not something which is only meant for few exclusive people. Usha ji, you basically talked about various different things, starting with food and agriculture, and you told us that of course the applications are in many departments, and we have to basically make sure that everybody is made aware that this is not something which is meant only for one exclusive branch of technology. My own views on this, I would like to add. I think an age-old system in our campuses was that wherever we thought that everybody should have a flavor of this particular subject, we would like to put it as an elective or a cross-departmental subject. I think this subject is not something which can be only an elective now. It can be something which is almost like mandatory. Now, those who get interested, they will definitely pick it up and go forward in that and see that, whatever they are doing in their field of technology, they will also give it a flavor of AI. But this is something which I think must be made mandatory for almost every branch of technology in the campuses. The second thing that I also see, and pardon me, I'm from IIT Madras, so most of my examples come from there. I see that in my campus, there are a lot of interdisciplinary centers which have sprung up. NCCRD, which is for combustion, there's an AI center, and these are all interdisciplinary. They basically pick up faculty members and students and scholars from multiple departments, and with some sponsorship from some good donor, it starts. And such kind of centers, I think earlier, the kind of silos that we had, civil engineering, chemical, in addition to that, these centers will definitely add this kind of exchange between the departments. Let's move to the second topic of industrial and academia integration and how industries can be leveraged. We heard from you that the problem statement from the industries must be shared with the academia. The academia must be challenged by the industries to say, if you can solve this problem for me, this is what you get from me. So that is one part. We heard from you, Singh Saab, Once again, a very interesting example of steam engine and bullet train. We are trying to teach steam engine, and we are actually aspiring for bullet train. So there has to be a way to bridge that gap. Now, obviously, you cannot bring bullet train to the campus, but you can take at least students to the bullet train in some way or the other. And especially with this online kind of exposure now, which we are all very familiar, it has become easier than ever before. So an experience with what is actually happening on the ground will be very, very important. And then finally, Ushaji, you talked about creating partnerships. I want to let you also let all the audience know that this kind of cross-fertilization between the industry and academia. You are in academia, you move to industry. Some people are in industry, move to academia. And in addition to that, there is a third part of the corner, which is the alumni. Quite a few people move to industry. They are very deeply attached to their alma mater. And I think this kind of integration, which is one of the success formulas of the US campuses, is increasingly happen in India as well. And I believe that it should be encouraged. Couple of other things very, very quickly. Singh Saab, you have been the head of the AICTE. AICTE has made internships mandatory now for all the engineering students. A good move, but now the implementation is lacking. We need to do something about that. But it's a great idea, and it must be taken forward. The credits for industrial internships or things like that, that's definitely something that should help. And the last thing on the industry academia partnership, especially in the context of artificial intelligence, I think one thing that everybody who studies artificial intelligence will tell you that they are critically short of data sets. They need data. AI is all about data. And that is something that sitting in the campus you don't get. The data is available with the industry, and sometimes there are hurdles in sharing that, whether it is government or industry. And this is something that let's create some kind of bonding to make sure data is not misused by those who are given that. But I think the biggest challenge is to get the data. Industry should do everything to make that available to the students and challenge them. Thank you very much, all three panelists. It was a pleasure to hear from you and also present my views.